So Corné is an acting managing director at Curiosita Software, and today he'll be sharing with us, little speech, and the title of the topic is the implementation of technology through innovation within the pharmaceutical industry. So it says there in brackets, pharmacy procurement. So I'll just repeat the title for everyone's sake. The implementation of technology through innovation within the pharmaceutical industry, in brackets, pharmacy procurement. So just briefly about Corné. Corné is an acting managing director for one of the Prime Media Unlimited Group companies, Curiosita Software. So Curiosita Software is the market leader in pharmaceutical procurement and advertising solutions. He has been with the company for almost 15 years with experience in business strategy, technology, and innovation, as well as product and solution development. He is passionate to provide world-class customer service and to head up an experienced and energized team which is aligned with the company's vision and values. The implementation of new technologies and rollout of the innovative ideas into our industry is key, so he says. We remain current to market trends and align ourselves yearly with the Da Vinci TT 100's Awards program. So thank you very much, Corné, for honoring our invite. And, it is now your turn. Hopefully the man behind me is not going to grill you.
I'm used to Ben, so he's probably going to grill me afterwards. No, thank you very much, Sebu, and sorry for my back. Excuse my back to some of you guys. Thanks very much for the invite, and I think it's the last time you guys had JD in here. So JD was our managing director. He moved to become group CEO now. We always say nice girls don't get the corner office, but he did. So he got the corner office now. Mm-hmm. So to add on to what was said now is Curiosita has been in business for since 2001. So what we basically do is we do procurement for the pharmaceutical industry. So we've gone and developed a little program where pharmacies can order their drugs through. So they use our system to order drugs. And being part of Prime Media, obviously, advertising. Advertising is our main revenue stream within the company. So under the Curiosita umbrella, there's two other companies as well, which is XP Digital, which is digital advertising, and XP Liquor, which is liquor procurement. So due to the fact that there's such a similarity between the pharmaceutical ordering or procurement system or procurement in the liquor industry, it's quite similar. You've got the legislation as well. Advertising is an issue in both. Probably not as much in liquor at this stage, but it's going to become an issue quite soon. Our platform it was purely developed for the pharmaceutical industry. Obviously, if you go and look at your sigmoid curve, at some stage you need to take another direction to make sure that you don't hit that ceiling. You start new innovative thinking around how can we implement our current environment or software into any other industries. So you can go into engineering, the nuts and bolts. You can go into entertainment, restaurants. You can go into anything, but there was an opportunity to go into liquor at that stage. It never stayed at liquor. It became an FMCG kind of procurement EDI solution, where 4 of your top retailers within South Africa said, listen here, we want to partner with you and we want to set up this EDI interface between you and between ourselves and then obviously our suppliers out there. But I'm not going to talk about XP Digital. I'm not going to talk about the digital advertising or the liquor industry. We're going to focus on pharmacy today. So obviously, technology is the core of our business, and in the pharmaceutical industry, they've got set ways of doing certain things within a pharmacy. So if you walk into your pharmacy, they take the last product from the shelf. They still write down, I've dispensed this product, so I need to order this product. So there's not a lot of technology within a pharmacy except for your computer where you do your dispensing on and you do your procurement. So what we do is we go into a pharmacy, we become a pharmacist, we become a pharmacy ordering clerk, we become a receiving clerk, and we look at the entire picture of, how the entire loop of from ordering your product right through to receiving your products back and obviously dispensing after that. How can we be of assistance, and what kind of technology, innovation systems can we put in place to make sure that it's an automated and a seamless process within a pharmacy? So obviously you get kickback from these oaks. Not all of them is interested in having technology in the pharmacy. They believe in, what's ADSL? Let's rather use this 56 or 56K modem with that weird sound. Some of these guys still, it's an old computer they use, and we just thought there should be ways of automating the process within a pharmacy. So obviously on our software, you can do procurement. Just a quick overview of how the process works. So you would place the order in your pharmacy. The order would go through to a supplier or distributor. The distributor will respond and will deliver the stock to the pharmacy. You receive the stock at your back shop, then captures it on your stock holding program, and only then you can dispense your products. So all of that was a manual process. So obviously we've rolled out our platform to 64% of the entire pharmaceutical market in South Africa. And then we went and sat with these oaks and said, listen, what can we do to ease the process even further? And we picked up that a very time-consuming process within a pharmacy is the receiving part. So the supplier will deliver the stock, and then the receiving needs to happen. So with key industry leaders, with a whole bunch of some of the suppliers, internal staff, we sat around a table and said, listen, what can we do? And we came up with something called electronic invoicing. So it's basically a file that gets sent from the supplier to the pharmacy with all the stock that just arrived in your pharmacy. So all that you need to do now as a receiving clerk, you need to check your stock, make sure it's on there and it's captured on your dispensing system. From there you can start dispensing. Obviously, at some stage in your life, you need to move forward in technology. And on our side, it's very aging infrastructure. The software is written in a very old language called Delphi 5. I don't know if any of you guys are. So I'm sure Ben knows about Delphi 5. But we've moved over to a web interface now. So it's more like a take-a-lot ordering portal at this stage. A couple of benefits on this new platform, and all of this came through different innovations, where you go and sit in a pharmacy. When you become that pharmacist and you see what he struggles with, or you go sit as the receiving clerk and you see what they struggle with, the juices just started flowing and said, listen here, there's ample opportunity to do something else to ease the process within this pharmacy. So we've implemented our online portal. We're going international now. We've just signed up our first international client on our online system. And obviously very agile. It's an agile program, way more user-friendly than the current or the legacy system. We've introduced a lot more inventory. So I had to do a whole business case on this, and I had to show how the ROI is going to work, and I need to pay off this loan that we got from our big brother as quickly as possible. And it's actually, I want to try and grow this pharmacy base of ours from 1,534 pharmacies to just over 2,000 pharmacies, which is possible. To grow your business with only 500 pharmacies, how difficult can it be if you're the market leader in any case? If you've got something that's out there that everybody needs, you need to work hard to roll it out, but it's possible. It's not impossible. And the slogan on Prime Media Unlimited is also impossible to ignore. So extra care is impossible to ignore. It's something that you need in your business to save cost, save time. Don't have stock that sit on your shelf until expiry. Get rid of your stock. So over and above all of this, another piece of innovation that we've introduced was predictive ordering.
Let me interrupt.
Sure.
So what, if you have to share with the audience, what is it that you apply really that makes this work? Because in my mind, I can see what you're doing, and it's got a definition in my mind, but I was wondering if you know what to do.
I think so. So yeah, I think the value proposition at the end of the day is to save time, save money within a pharmacy. They can go and spend time.
There are people that tried that before,
which has not succeeded.
No, why not? That's where the crux is.
Yeah. So I think a big thing on our side is everybody within the company is, has got kind of the same culture, and we've all got the same vision. So the vision is to ease the process within a pharmacy, to make sure that the pharmacist out there, he shouldn't spend hours and hours on ordering products or receiving products, whatever. He should be there to advise patients on, medications or certain illnesses where they need information on. So rather get the pharmacist to spend your time on patient engagement.
Okay, so
free up some time.
So let's make it easy. So we spoke in the previous session about the importance of skill and the misalignment. So where will you now buy skill from, and what skill are you going to buy to get that going?
So there's a big, and where's Raj? There's a big need in the market for pharmacists. There's pharmacies out there. If you go and look at your ShopRite pharmacies, you need to work a certain amount of hours during your work week. Over weekend, some of those pharmacies close down. They close because there's no pharmacist that can take over. So there's a big need for pharmacists within
okay, that's the one. But to do your kind of work, what skill are you not going to buy?
So we don't buy skill. Okay, so we do internal kind of succession planning, training. The originator who started Exprocure in 2001 is also developing our current online system. Obviously, he's involved in the whole process. So, moving away from Delphi, which is very scarce resources, it's very pricey, very costly. You can go into a wide variety of online kind of web developers at this stage. This is a much cheaper way of doing development.
Okay, so let me help you. So you tell me you will buy technical skill. And I want to say, if I look at your performance in TT100, that's not why you will. But without maybe defining it, what they are very good at is to implement the principles of design thinking. So they've got the skill to listen and to understand what's going on.
Correct, yes.
But there is no degree qualification that you can buy that from currently.
No, there's not.
So that comes to your point. It dovetails in the sense with that we can have all these skills development programs, but they miss the target. Because the skill that you want is not captured in any undergraduate program in this country.
No, you can't. It's more it's more of a.
So why we raise it to your benefit is not even the employers. He can't even articulate it eloquently this afternoon. But that's what makes their success. They have the skill to listen and to understand and to interpret. That's what they have.
But what I find very interesting is that why do you say that there is pharmacist need? We have our doctor to give medical advice. I can go and then press a button and out comes my medication. I don't need a pharmacist anymore. So what we need to start looking at is beyond the pharmacist. And what your technology can do is almost align the makeup from the advice of the doctor into a machine, artificial intelligence, and also then every month I come in, I press a button and out it comes. So what's the skill of the pharmacist needs to be, we need to think about why we need pharmacists.
So you talk about the robot pharmacist, which is a possibility.
I'm just talking about possibilities and training more pharmacists.
Do you know that Clicks is busy implementing training for their pharmacists where the pharmacist can actually do prescriptions? So they become the doctor. The pharmacist becomes the doctor.
I don't know if that's legal.
It is legal. I mean, if they go through the whole process of
but I think the point you're making is think of the pharmacist as something else.
Absolutely.
And I like that idea. I just wanted to make with this first point you're trying to make to the audience, the skill that you have is a design thinking skill, which is not captured in skills in academic programs currently at universities.
No, you can't go and get that skill. Yeah, it's a specific kind of skill that you do. You train within.
Okay. I hope you don't mind.
No. Let's
Questions?
go for it. Let's go for it.
The skill that you guys are referring to, is it programming or the prescription part?
No, it's the listening part.
It's the listening
part, yeah. So we go into a pharmacy. Yes, understanding the client needs. So you do a needs analysis just by listening to that. Okay, so listening, what is the problem? So a pharmacist will come to you and say, listen here, I'm struggling to order this
gadget.
Yeah. What can we do to ease the process? And then we go back and say, listen here, okay, let's brainstorm this a bit, and how can we ease the process of ordering or procurement within a pharmacy or receiving stock? It's a hideous process to receive stock back in the pharmacy. So let's go and chat to the manufacturer or the wholesaler, get an electronic file rather than a physical delivery note. It gets imported into all the systems already. It's integrated, updates your stock holding, your inventory, and all of that.
So it's similar to logistics, more or less.
Yes.
The logistics of everything.
Yeah.
But I think what we did is we complicated the skills program.
Yeah.
He's doing it. He doesn't call it that, but those people got a job.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But they didn't go through fancy programs.
It's innovative.
That's the thing. I mean, in our industry, you need to. Yeah, obviously, I've got graphic designers, I've got developers, I've got your salespeople are the people that actually needs that, how to listen. Yeah, the listening technique. And then obviously your management as well. So you get an employee that would say, listen, this is a requirement within a pharmacy. How can we work as a team to implement something to make life easier? And then you need to listen to the problem and you need to come up with a solution.
Okay, it's very innovative. It's very innovative.
So are you in the procurement industry or advertising business?
I'm not going to say that.
I'm trying to find your product, and I've got it. It's seemingly a fairly low-level definition of the product, which I'm sure you could improve on, which is just to simply say it's an integrated procurement, stock control, and dispensing system.
So we're not dispensing. So it's only a procurement system.
Okay.
So we don't go into dispensing.
But dispensing determines when procurement has to occur.
Correct. So there's an integration between procurement and dispensing.
Yeah. That's why I said it's an integrated procurement, stock control, and dispensing system.
So the model, there's a different model for dispensing, which we're not involved in. That's a third party. We only do the procurement part of it, and we then receive information from the dispensing system on procurement that needs to happen within the pharmacy.
And you said that you've acquired your first international customer, client. I mean, this is actually a very exciting innovation.
It is.
What is the prospect for massive scale up? You're not a startup any longer. Can you move from startup to scale up?
We probably can. I mean, already with our legacy system, we're international. So if I say international, it's your Botswanas, your Zimbabwe's, so it's close countries. We did go into Mauritius to go and see how they operate in Mauritius. That's chaos. Okay, so there's a big opportunity for something, for some sort of a procurement system. I mean, when you walk into the Department of Health there, it's stacks of papers like this. They had to move the papers from one chair to another so that we can just sit on a chair. Okay, so everything is paper-based. So there's a huge opportunity there to go digital, especially up in Africa. We've just met with one of our manufacturers, a big manufacturer in South Africa, and they said, we want to get money into Ghana, into Nigeria. How can you be of assistance? We've got the system. Let's just go and roll it out. There's another 989 pharmacies in Nigeria that we can go and convert. So yes, there's definitely opportunity to move up.
Well, good luck.
Thanks. We're probably going to need
So I
it.
just wanted to ask you could use this technology for anything? For any fast-moving consumer goods?
You can actually do it. So we use it for anything that you can order in pick and pay. ShopRite, Macro, and Spar on the EDI side of the business. I mean it's going to be much easier when it's an online system because it's web-based, so it's your opportunities are endless there, and you can make a change by the snap of your fingers. I can move from pharmaceutical to liquor to engineering to motor industry to. So I mean yes, you can definitely look at other industries as well, and that is part of our long run strategy. So I mean that's for us, and like Ben said, yes, sorry.
I'd furthermore like to ask really, to the both of you, because we are working with a lot of SOPs and companies, to maybe take your company information there, and we might sit down and consult you guys as a third party into the problems you encounter in the SOPs industries and things like that, and in terms of skills development. And in your basis, I'm aware of a lot of innovations that are coming up, e.g. blockchain technology, EFT, electronic fund transfer systems. They've gone international now, and South Africa is like a pioneering industry in that regard. So I'd also like to look at some of the work that you guys do and speak to you guys on that.
Cool, definitely.
David?
So I was actually referring back to what Ben said, and now I can't remember what it was.
Conceptual framework.
Obviously. So what we do is listen to people, and then go and implement the innovation that we can come up with. We include our clients, our customers. We include staff. We sit around a table. We do those innovation sessions. We join pharmacy shows. We join retail conferences. There's a lot happening in the back that to actually get to the end product, and to go, and obviously we've got our designers and our developers, and you kind of have that, when you interview for new personnel, there's that one aspect that they need to be innovative, and you pick that up as you go through the whole process. It's a difficult thing to pick up, but they need to be innovative, and one way of doing it, and I don't know how, that's how we do it. So if we interview a new person, the very first question would be to tell us a joke. Firstly, it's to break the ice, to just get the person to relax and just chill a bit. And from there you can start working with that person, and you can try and do a more of a innovation kind of, so find out what innovative stuff that they've implemented, or he or she's implemented in previous employment, and so that's how we do it. Obviously we're growing fast. This morning we were on 1,534 pharmacies. We're now on 1,537 pharmacies. So we've signed up a lot of pharmacies today.
Well done.
And this our online version is up. That was our main focus over the past year, to bring in more functionality, more inventory, and just implement whatever those guys need. We won't go and implement everything that these guys come and chat to us about. Obviously you sit around a table and you say, listen, is this going to be a viable functionality for the base, or is it just for a group of pharmacies? Is it for your retail pharmacies? And then based on that we decide if we're actually going to do the development or not. It's much easier now with online. Implementation is quick and instant. The IP, it's our IP, so it's you make the change and you implement as you go along.
So on that matter, I would like to know, are there any impediments from the ecosystem that makes it easy for you to work online in this reality or not?
Well, look, obviously you've got access to, and we can use a buying group as an example. So a buying group is where you've got a couple of pharmacies with a wholesaler, one owner. Owns all the pharmacies and the wholesaler. So you've got an overview over all your pharmacies within that group as one user. no matter where you are in the world, you can have access to what's happening within your pharmacy. You can do reporting. You can manage your stock. So yeah, that's.
But what I mean, is there any technical limitations?
Well, I think
bandwidth, etc.
Well, yeah. Look, it depends on, and like I said, there's some of the pharmacies still use old modems. Like maybe there's no modem out there anymore. But connectivity is always going to be a problem. If you don't have proper connectivity within your pharmacy, it's obviously going to be a problem. But a pharmacy is basically forced to have proper connectivity because you do scripts on a daily basis. So you've got cancer patients, you've got patients in there that need their drugs urgently. So I think that's less of a problem is connectivity. Hardware might be an issue where they've got proper or the right spec hardware, but also it's a small problem that you can overcome. So what I mean by overcome is you can use some sort of a bundle that you give as to that pharmacy. So we supply the software, but you also get a laptop and connectivity and. So you can overcome that. Yeah.
Do you see the groups like Dischem as being your biggest threats or anything like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously these guys.
Because they're gobbling up all small pharmacies and groups.
Except for that, I mean, they're big enough to go and develop their own procurement system.
Which I'm sure they are doing.
They've tried.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they have tried. Clicks has failed miserably in developing their own kind of procurement system. But yes, there's always risk around those guys, acquiring procurement or acquiring one of my competitors, or go and develop it themselves. So yes, there's always risk, and then obviously they acquire all these small independent pharmacies and they become Dischems. Luckily, Dischem Clicks you can pay all of my clients, so I don't mind. So I lose one here, but I win one here. But yeah, there is.
But then having admit to it, what is your strategy on that, if any?
So
just wait and see.
Yeah, no, you can't just really wait and see. I mean, with Dischem, we went to Dischem with our online version, and they said, "Listen, this is exactly what we need in our pharmacy." So what we put out there is what the requirement is in the industry. And I think it's because of, once again, go and spend time in a pharmacy. So go and sit in the Dischem. What is it that you guys need that you can't live without? Electronic invoicing. Stock on hand at wholesaler level. And we've got the relationship with the wholesalers, we've got the relationship with manufacturers, and we've got the relationship with the pharmacies. So yeah, there's a strat in place where you try and through systems and through new innovation to make sure that you stay ahead of your competitors firstly, and make sure that you've got a solution in that pharmacy that pharmacy can't get rid of.
So agriculture is on the horizon, and from a government perspective, they want to invest a lot of money in that, and especially in micro enterprises within agriculture. My sense is there will be a lot of this procurement because it's in the making and the movement of goods. Are you looking at new markets or not necessarily?
So we've just we're investigating the veterinary market at this stage. Huge opportunity as well, and that goes hand in hand with the agriculture kind of industry, because how the guys explained it to me, I sat in a meeting and the guy said, "Listen here, I'm a farmer. I'm in my helicopter. I need to know what to order for all the little the cattle and whatever they need." So we're definitely looking at that, and we've met with a couple of suppliers and wholesalers already. And once again, it's so easy to change our system to veterinary product. It's not even fun.
Okay, there's a question there, ma'am.
Yes.
My question is on the impact of jobs, skills, and looking at South Africa and the level of skills as well as unemployment. Is this going to bring positive effect to that, or is it going to limit the numbers in terms of employment?
So what we basically do with our system is we try and save on time. So it's not going to impact your job per se. It's going to give you more time to do something else. within a pharmacy, like I explained. But for a pharmacist, it's necessary for a pharmacist to spend more time with the patient, for whatever reason it might be. For your ordering clerk to do CPD training, so getting trained on new products. So I won't say it's going to cost jobs, or there's going to be a higher unemployment rate because of our system. I just think it's just going to ease the process and save you a lot of time.
Not certain that I do create new trade.
Not necessarily create new positions, but
Enhance the current skills.
Enhance the current skills, and then obviously there's opportunity to get new pharmacists in South Africa. So if you want a great job, go study to become a pharmacist.
But Sebu, I just want to touch on this. So if one of the mega trends is, to your point, around either digitization or robotization or screenification, and even the disintermediation of the middleman. So, and I can add, I mean, those are those 10 trends that Leonard speak to. Why don't we have a discourse? Because this is a thing that pops up every now and then. We're moving towards a more digitized reality, artificial intelligence and all the others, and we get worried. So isn't it time that we should start thinking, what is the alternative way of working? As opposed to that we will lose our jobs. So what if we anticipated that 50 years from now, a work day is actually only 4 hours? And the rest of the time, we're not working. Why is that not a possibility? Or is it a possibility? Ernest? Is the possibility for you? Just to work 4 hours a day? And
It is. Absolutely.
but are we really anticipating that? Because there's no way that we can keep guys like you going on one of these or more mega trends, whilst at the same time we say, well, people will lose their jobs. Come on, we must bring these two things together.
I just think there's also, I mean, when you look at AI, whatever's going to happen there, I mean, they're not going to be able to do everything. So there's systematic thinking, there's some things that these robots won't be able to do. Graphic design. I mean,
yeah, but I almost want to beg you, don't try to get us away from this challenge. Because the more we argue, don't worry, your job is safe, the less do we, as the collective, consider alternative ways of working.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's limiting your... Yeah.
Let's think of alternative ways.
Yeah.
Because we make the assumption it must be an 8 to 12 hour day, for the tables of the world is 14 hours a day, and then they get tired.
Yeah.
So how are we going to say, well, what about 4 hours a day? Because as you rephrased it, I will have an enhanced work experience now. Digitally enhanced, may it be. But what do I do the other 4 hours? Maybe I'm with my family. Maybe we'll make babies again.
To talk to the space of if we only work 4 hours a day in a job, redefining the label of job, redefining how we earn an income, redefining how we survive and connect. It's going back to the basics of how we actually create more than one stream of income. And it's not going to be about, it will be forced to do through lack of work from a job perspective, but it's encouraging us to use more of our brain to step into a space of where we can redefine what life means for us. Purpose.
But I want to argue on that one. If we say, well, because we have to have multiple feeders, it can also be discouraging. Because now people say, oh my God, I want to raise a family, but I have to do 3 jobs to survive.
So
What if I can survive with 4 hours by being enhanced and productive?
hence network marketing, leveraged income.
For example.
It is the trend,
Yes.
and most companies will switch to that kind of a model. That is the way of the future.
And I really wish there's a PhD that will come out by people thinking of the new way of working. Because it's you guys are
very
bringing it
interesting
closer,
too.
but we're not going there.
Sure. Okay. Do you have any more questions, comments?
Correct.
Yes, let's do it.
In the IT space, there's always big brother lacking in the share. Who's the big brother for you? Is it Amazon? Is it Alibaba?
No, so we don't really have a big brother other than Prime Media. So Prime Media is our big brother. But obviously, we started looking at what's the first company you used? Amazon. So that's where we based our. So when we had our very first discussion with our developers, they said, "Listen, here, can we do some sort of a Amazon kind of a setup?" And yeah, obviously based on what those guys have done, and there's similarities between Amazon and, on a very smaller scale, Takealot as well. And that's what we've based our platform on, yes.
And your regulator? Do you have a regulator in any way?
Why do you need a regulator?
I'm just asking as a matter of interest, as a compliance officer, you always have to ask. I'm just asking as a matter of interest. You have like a.
She just sees a new opportunity.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of.
I'm not a tick box compliance officer.
There's a lot of legislation, so we tend to, we stick in, or we comply with legislation.
Yeah. You're not actually responsible for the pharmaceutical issuing of the drug, but you would be for protection of personal information, you'd be for FICA and all those kinds of things, yeah. Okay. I'm just asking as a matter of interest, everybody.
Okay.
The trend in the world is shifting from control and fear-based into transparency. So regulation is going to fall away because too many people are going to need to survive.
That day will be.
It's not going to happen. It's going
to be an argument, clash of the titans. Yeah.
Fighting the red tape because red tape is stopping too many people from earning an income.
I don't disagree, but I want to see the day happen.
It's already happening.
Where?
Compare 5 years ago to today.
In South Africa?
There's more people doing entrepreneurial stuff, and the corridor between Mozambique and South Africa for doing business, they've really done away with red tape to allow that space.
I think what I want to touch on what she's saying is there was a graduate the other day, maybe I shared it somewhere, so bear me. He studied commerce, and this very high-tech company, engineering, in this very high-tech company was offering this very high-tech job. So he pitches up and he talks to the lady, and she's very impressed. She hooked him. And then the day she said, and we've got all these benefits and all these regulations, you feel safe. And then he said, well, let me start. I don't want medical aid. Yes, she says, and she's now a colleague of mine who's in HR. And she says, yes, but it's a regulation. The company requires you. He says, well, I can look well after myself. I go to gym every day and look how good am I looking. I want the benefits from that medical aid added to my salary. He says, not sure the regulation will allow that. So he goes on with a few of these things. And then she said, well, you must remember at your level, there's a car allowance. Surely you want that. He says, well, I'm not sure. I've got my own chauffeur. The Uber is outside.
Absolutely.
I don't need this. And he says this, and then she says, well, we also got a housing thing. He says, well, I don't care, I'm staying with my parents. And then she said, she really got angry with this guy. And he ended the conversation by saying, look, I'm going off to a 10-day stunt in Germany. I'm doing some programming there with someone. And when I come back, let me know if you're interested for me working with you. But these three conditions, I don't want the house, I don't want those three things added to my bottom line. Well, obviously, she went to the offices of whoever, and they said, this is not possible. Now, that guy is a great example of what you're referring to. He does not want to work in that space anymore. Yeah. If we don't talk broadly of a regulated space, and we as Da Vinci, we work in a regulated space. But people are not interested going forward. Because from a cooperative way, the knowledge worker says, I don't need this anymore. And I think that's where we're going.
I think you're 100% correct. I still haven't seen it in South Africa. You may see it in that Mozambique border, or corridor. I think, in fact, it's getting 10 times worse because of the unethical behaviors of people, of humanity, that creates more regulation. And that's
now you really touch a button. So if you go to a country called, if you go to Denmark, and in Copenhagen, there's a neighborhood in Copenhagen, where there are no rules. Christiana. People stay there, thousands of them. And drug and alcohol abuse was a major issue in Copenhagen. And Christiana says, come to us. Become part of Christiana. There is no rule. There's no, they manage the whole municipal system on their own. But everybody cooperatively gives and makes a contribution to how it works.
Absolutely.
They've got no problems with those drug addicts or alcohol. They don't misuse drugs or alcohol anymore. But where the rules were, they landed up in jail. So I think the fact that we've got more rules doesn't make us more ethical.
I absolutely agree with you. I think it makes us inhuman.
Yes.
Because the rules are forcing us down one path. And it's not the intent of the law.
Yeah.
People forget about the intent of the law. They just follow the letter of the law and they don't look beyond. I agree with you, and I'm not disputing that, but we look at Steinhoff, for example. We were all invested in Steinhoff in one way or another. Now, even with regulation, but we still all lost out. So it's a balancing game. It's really a balancing game. And in an unequal society, we really have to think carefully in how we do it, in bringing it to the surface, in creating ethical conduct, helping people to be more equal, giving people more benefits. But it's the how.
It's a tricky space.
It's a very, very...
It's self-accountability and self-responsibility.
Absolutely.
It's a whole new level of EQ.
I agree. And
self-regulation.
And you can't do it when you can't regulate yourself when someone's watching you, and when they're not watching you, you do something different. It has to be all the time.
Yeah.
And what happens is often people do it behind the scenes and do the right thing in front, but behind the scenes they're not doing the right thing.
So it goes again to speak to values, a values-based life.
Exactly.
I have a quote on the how, by the way.
Corné, thank you so much. Thanks. And we have exhausted our time, but thanks for coming. And to the audience, very many thanks for being here, and thank you for your participation. We do hope to see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Corné.
Thank you very much.